All right, now we're recording. So for anyone that might be listening into this as the recording, I want to put it out there that we do not claim to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose any illness or disease. No two bodies are the same. We are a health and wellness company that has solutions for financial and for physical transformations, and what a person puts into it is what they're going to get out of it from a physical standpoint or from a financial standpoint. So anything that you hear in terms of any earnings or weight loss or anything like that, everybody is different, and results can be achieved if you give your whole heart to it. So on that note, just as a little bit of housekeeping, we just want to touch base with a few things that are coming up. So how many of you are aware of the webinar happening on Tuesday night? Tuesday night with myself and Edward Carlin. All right. So I am so freaking excited about this webinar, you guys. We are so blessed to have Edward doing this with us. So for those of you that may not know, what it means is that for people to come on to the webinar, I'll repost it again. I think it's pinned in our Freedom Tribe Builders group. But what's going to be happening is that anyone that you invite to come onto the call, so if you've got fence sitters, people that you've talked to Isagenix about before, anyone who wasn't ready to get going, maybe they're like, well, I kind of want to do it, but we better wait till the new year now with Christmas. We have an opportunity to help them get started with 100 BV or more with the free memberships. They're going to save $29, and they can get started with one of the smaller packs. So they could still do a bigger pack, but this is a time of year where a lot of times the expense is an excuse for people. They don't want to get started with the President's Pack or, whatever at this time of year. So how amazing would it be, you guys, if we could help the people we care about get started with like the 4 pillars, Ionics every day, a little bit of cleanse every day, a shake or 2 every day, and some chocolates, or the vitamins. Like, don't you know how much that would be so valuable for them? Could you imagine going without those 4 things every day over the holidays? Seriously? So the way it works is that they need to be on the call, all right? They need to be on the Zoom in order to be eligible for the code. I will be getting the codes from Edward based on who's on the call. I will distribute the codes. There are spots for 200 people on the call. I have kept this Freedom Tribe right now. I don't want to have only 15 people on the call because I know we can blow this up and get way more people on that call. So I'm asking you guys to please share the love. Please get reaching out to your people. Don't just do mass messaging. Michelle's going to talk about connecting here in a bit and give you some ideas. Make it personal and just say, look, I don't know if this is a time for you, but I care about you, and I would love for you to be able to just take a look at this, because this is something that could really make a difference for you towards your health goals before the holidays. Let's help you stay at least maintained or improving and not gaining that typical 10 pounds or getting all stressed out and everything over the holidays. So I'm stoked about it. Thank you for your support on it. I know you guys have been sharing it. The event is there, and you can start to add people to the event as well. All of you guys have been added, and if you haven't been, let me know. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that Thursday night, and Michelle may touch on this a little bit too. Michelle and I, okay, let me ask you this. How many of you sometimes get really confused with how many systems and ways of doing things? And sometimes you follow like Zach and Eden, and sometimes you follow like Isagenix, and sometimes you follow like other people as to the way that they're doing things, yes? With starting a new person, right? 8 steps to success, PK's method, all of this stuff. There's so much. Do you agree? Okay. Well, Michelle and I have been talking, and we've been kind of working together with a few of the other people that have been around a little bit longer in Freedom Tribe. We have decided to simplify and streamline our systems and do a bit of a relaunch and a reveal of our systems for the new year. Is that a good thing? Awesome. So we are going to be doing a call on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Okay, we will record it. We know we're giving you short notice on this, but if you can do everything in your power to be on that with pen and paper, ears perked, it will be recorded, so you can re-listen if you need to. We will provide all the documentation. We're going to do a PowerPoint on it, but we want to be able to give you simple systems for prospecting, simple systems for retention, simple systems for duplication, those 3 things. Sound good? Awesome. Okay. On that note, I'm going to get you guys to write down this acronym. Write down the word ACT, A-C-T. So as we go through the call tonight, there's going to be a lot of content, But I'd like you guys to, anything that comes up that you think is something you want to start applying, A for apply, put apply beside the letter A, okay? C stands for change, anything that you would benefit from changing with what you've been doing, all right? And then T stands for train, anything that you feel would be valuable to train and share with your team. So A is apply, C is change, T is train and share with your team, all right? Awesome. So on that note, we're going to start off with our teammate in the spotlight. So every week we like to highlight someone in the team who has been around for a long time, who's been around for a short time, someone who has had some personal transformations, and just learn a little bit more about why they're here, you know, how they got started, what they've learned in the process, and what they're so excited about. So on that note, I'm going to introduce to you our good friend, Jodi Swanzey. I've known Jodi for about 3 years now or something. Her and her awesome husband, Ryan, and they have their beautiful daughter, Kendra, and she's going to share more about her family with you. And what I want you to do is I want you to take some notes and think about, is there anyone who comes to mind that, you know, Jodi may remind you of, or someone that you think would benefit from having a chat with Jodi, or, you know, something about Jodi's story that kind of resonates maybe with you or someone that you care about, because we're all here to help support each other's people. On that note, what I love most about Jodi is just her heart. She is so authentic and so genuine, and she just comes from such a place of servant leadership that any question that you have or anything you require, she's going to, you know, assist you with it. And also, she's not afraid to ask questions. So if she's looking for the answers, you know, some people try to figure stuff out on their own all the time, and she's really good at that, but she's also not afraid to say, hey, I could use a hand with this. Can you help me? And I love that about you, Jodi. So I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend. Give it up for Jodi, guys. Air clap.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, a little quiet, but it's good.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Jodi, and I'm a firefighter with Mississauga, and I have a husband and a 9-year-old daughter. And before Isagenix, I considered myself fairly active, and I thought I was pretty knowledgeable when it came to nutrition and health and food and whatnot. So when my friend Kellyanne got into Isagenix, I thought that was fantastic for her. She was on a weight loss journey, so I supported her, and, you know, from afar, and cheered her on. And when she asked me about the products, of course I said no, because I already had my own protein bars and shakes and stuff like that. So, but again, I just encouraged her to do her thing. And finally I said, you know what, okay, I'll try your protein bars. So I tried them, and I actually really liked them. So I thought, okay, these are pretty good. And then we watched her as she went on with her weight loss journey. And when she won the Ice to Body Challenge, I remember the moment when I said to my husband, we're going to have to sign up, because she's been so successful with this. And my husband, who was involved with a network marketing company before, he's like, yeah, he goes, I've kind of checked it out, and this looks really good. And even though if we're not going to do the business, let's just stay active. Like, if you're signing up, stay active, and we'll go from there. So I agreed with Kel to sign up for the 30-day plan, because I didn't really understand cleanses in the past. I've always avoided them. And so when it came to 30-day, I'm like, okay, well, I don't have much energy. I don't really need to lose a lot of weight, and I don't sleep the greatest. So we'll give it a try, because that's what Kellyanne was kind of raving a lot of her energy was coming from. So I tried 30 days. I lost 10 pounds, which surprised me. I felt fantastic. I increased my energy. I slept a lot better. My husband was impressed after the first week or two, so I got him signed up. So that was a bonus. And then from there, I've stayed on the products. And it was a few months later, I started thinking about the business idea. So again, with Kellyanne, she encouraged me, and that's when I met Tina, and I went to some events. And then it wasn't until last year when I went to Celebration that I started to kind of accept network marketing, because I've always been shying away from it. And I realize now that I can be proud of it. I can share my story, and I talk about what we do. And it's been 3 years, and I have a lot of great associates. I have one consultant. So my goal for 2017 is, to step it up and get more involved. And I mean, it's funny. I remember when I first met Mike Dallaire, and we had a lunch thing, and they asked what my goals were. And I said, I wanted to reach manager. And they all kind of laugh, because they say, no, you got to strive for executive. But it's been baby steps, but I can kind of see the long-term picture. And I've gone every day with it in my body, and I love it. And as much as we joke with Kellyanne, I mean, it was great. And as we all know, I said no right off the bat, which shocked her because we've been really good friends for so long. And then now it's part of our everyday lives, and it's increased our friendship. And I've met so many fantastic other people that are on the call already, and it's been awesome. I love it.
That is so amazing. I love your story. Thank you, Jodi. And, so when Jodi mentioned in the beginning that her goal was in weight loss, it's something to keep in mind, because not everybody's goal is that, right? That's about why it's so important to ask questions and understand where people are coming from. She was fatigued. Don't know why when you're working shift work like a firefighter. Sometimes there's crazy schedules and people are all over the place. So we have solutions for everybody. So, and we're so blessed. And you made such an important point that you're on your journey and there is no rush and you can go at your own pace. And the beautiful thing about Isagenix is it is not going anywhere. We're here. Mm-hmm. So you can decide, right? If you want to be a runner and go, you can do that. If you want to, and now I think what's so cool is that there's, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's a more peace and ease for you.
Yes.
When you just don't feel weird or you're not feeling uncomfortable, like you care about people, you feel good, you want people to feel good. That's all it's about.
I think people have noticed too. I mean, it wasn't just a quick fix. It's a lifestyle, and people have seen me every day over the last few years. Like, oh, you're still on Isagenix? It's like, yeah, it's part of my everyday life.
That's right. Yeah, so important. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jodi. All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're the best. So we're going to get right into it here. I mentioned in the group when I promoted this call that we were going to do a piece on money mindset. How many of you feel that you have some room to grow and improve on your money mindset? Some of us. Okay. Some of us do. So I'm going to this is going to be a Coles Notes version. I wish, if we were doing a full hour every night, we could get a little bit more in depth in it, but Michelle has some important information for us to go through as well in the call tonight. So I'm going to give you guys some homework. Is that cool? So do you guys have a pen and paper? All right. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys. How many of you would agree that we don't come out of the womb knowing how to do money management? We don't come out of the womb knowing how to do relationships. We don't come out of the womb knowing how to take care of our health, right? These are all things that we have to invest time and energy into learning and growing in. And a lot of times, sometimes we get jumped into the whole life thing, and our experiences and our environment and our upbringing and all of those things sort of play a big role in dictating what our outcomes are going to be, because that's the conditioning that we've had. Do you agree with that? And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good. Right? That leads us to certain places. So what I'd love for you to do is I'd love for you to just take a moment and write this down. So when it comes to our money blueprint, you know what your money blueprint is? All right. It's the way that you have been conditioned, the way that you perceive, money, earning money, all of that around money. So I'd like you to write this down. It's what you've basically decided or what you've created as your reality. So number one, when it comes to our money and it comes to verbal programming, I want you to think about, what did you hear? So write down, what did I hear about money when you were growing up? Those of you that were at the leadership thing this weekend, you've already done this. So we're not going to spend time on this. We're just going to write these things down. And you guys that haven't done this exercise, you'll do it, on your own, and we'll discuss it. Number two, modeling. What did you see in relation to money in your home when you were growing up? Through your younger years, what did you see happening? Were parents arguing? Was it not talked about? That kind of thing. And then number three, were there any specific incidences that happened in your life that may have branded you in a certain way in regards to money? So for instance, my dad and I got into a bit of an argument when I was a teenager. I was working part-time, had a part-time job. I was living in his house. I was 16 years old. And I asked him for money for something, and he basically let me have it and told me that I should have money. Why don't you have money? You don't know how to manage your money. You're a terrible money manager. So that incident, it wasn't a very nice conversation. It was very nasty. And the way that he said it to me branded me in such a way that I thought, okay, I can't manage money. And I truly believed that until about 3 years ago. So an incident, something like that, could be very powerful, right? So now here's the thing, you guys. I'm going to get you guys on your own time. Please, will you guys commit to spending 10 minutes on those questions outside of here? Yes. And so what I want you to think about is, you know, we may have specific programming, but here's the thing. We made a decision about those situations, about what we heard and about what we saw. We chose to believe certain things. Do you agree? So the cool thing is that we chose to believe certain things. So the cool thing is we can choose to believe different. We can decide that, you know what, that imprint, that mindset, that money blueprint is not working for me anymore. Because what happens is a lot of times, and this may be for you, or you may have your crap together on this, it might be for someone in your team and someone that you care about. Because if they do not have a positive money mindset, it does not matter how much connecting we talk with them about. It does not matter how much we encourage them and boost them up about what their transformation story has been. Because if they have some negative imprinting in their mind, they will not feel in a place that they can go out there and speak from a positive mindset. Or fear of success in creating wealth can sometimes be more paralyzing than fear of failure. Does that make sense? Fear of success. So sometimes I know for myself, the fear of actually achieving it and then losing it was something that has held me back in the past because I believed I couldn't manage money. So if I all of a sudden earn all this money, I don't know how to manage it. So why do I want it? Right? So interesting. So start to put some thought to that and think about how you can help your team with it. We are not our past. We created where we are now so we can change it. We can create a new reality. And it's just like building our muscles when we're working out. You know, when we start making change, it's hard at first. It can be super messy in the middle, like total crap show. But it can be so beautiful on the other side. It's important to know that process. All right. And then a few other things before I pass it to Michelle here again. I would love to go into deep depth on all this, but a few other things. So how many of you feel that, and you don't have to put your hand up, you don't have to answer me, but I just want you to ask yourself this question. How many of you feel that you've played small in some areas of your life in the last year? Right? I'll put my hand up. I'll get on that. Okay. How many of you feel that you've maybe played small in maybe more than one area in your life in the last year? Okay. So I'm going to get you to write these things down. All right. So I'm going to get you to write down self-care. And besides self-care, we're going to do 6 subheadings. And I talked about these last week. Number 1 is nutrition. And you can put /Isagenix. Are we the walking, talking, billboards? And it doesn't mean that we have to be all ripped and buff and on a stage, but we're all walking and talking and, walking our talk when it comes to product, using the products. And that we are representing the world's largest health and wellness company. Are we truly? Okay, so nutrition, Isagenix. Number 2, exercise. Number 3, under self-care, hydration. Number 4, under self-care, sleep. What's that? Number 5, under self-care, thoughts and /mindset. Okay? And number 6, under self-care, I said harmony. Balance I don't believe in because we don't have equally perfectly balanced days, but there's harmony. There's ebb and flow. Some days, where the self-care is important every day. These things are important, but they may vary in times. Does that make sense? So that's all stress management, harmony in our lives, okay, that harmony. So we've got self-care. We've also got financial. We've also got with your business or career. You can put whatever you want for that. Contribution. So when it comes to those areas, I'm going to get you guys to put 10 minutes into this as well. So number 1, you're going to ask yourself these questions for each of those areas. Number 1, what is my current standard? What is my current, level that I've been, acting at? What is my current belief that I've been living in when it comes to my nutrition, when it comes to, my sleep, when it comes to my sharing Isagenix, my business, whatever that is? What is my current standard? Number 2, what is required for me to believe in order to elevate my own standard? Because if you've been believing to this point, I don't have enough energy to exercise. I'm not worthy of this, or you know what, I'm just bigger, my body's always been bigger, my family's bigger, I'm just always going to be bigger. As long as I'm healthy, I'm okay with that. Like, what are your beliefs, right? So it's like, what is required for you to believe in order to elevate the standard? And it may mean that you're reinventing yourself, right? And the third is, what actions, you know, and habits are you committed to creating that align with your new standard? Okay, it's a good time of the year to take a life assessment of where are we now, you know, where do we want to go, and how are we going to get there? Awesome. Okay, again, I'm going to just leave that with you guys so you guys can do a little bit of soul searching on some of that stuff. Is that valuable? Yes? Okay. It can kind of be a can of worms when you start working through it, but like I said, it's kind of messy in the middle sometimes, but it's really awesome on the other side. And I will be reaching out to you guys next week. We'll do, this is some of your action takeaway. We will touch base on the next call just to see where some of you are. So I'll ask some of you for some of your shares on that if you're willing to share. Okay, what came up for you? Now on this note, I'm going to pass it over to Michelle because our fearless leader here has some great information for us moving into this next phase of the year. Michelle, it's all yours, babe.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, that was great. Thanks, Jodi, for sharing your story. And you know what? All the things I know about you, I don't think I really knew that you were a firefighter, like a full-time firefighter. So I'm loving this. Like, I'm just writing notes, and I'm going to be calling you about that. And thanks, Teeny. I wrote like 2 pages of notes from all your stuff. So it's great. This is a time to really be asking ourselves questions. And it's also a time to be connecting to people. Some of us were lucky enough this weekend to be at the next leadership summit, and then also to be with Jodi Russell, who's our new Canadian rep, and talk about what's going to happen for 2017 for Isagenix here in Ontario. And there was really a common thing that came out of it, and the common thing that I really got from it, and Jodi Russell shared from all of his experience, was that it's adding people to your list is the number one income producing activity. And there is, you know, something to be said in the holiday season, because we're going to Christmas parties, we're going to see our family, we're sending Christmas cards out, we're, you know, reaching with people that we maybe reach out to them once a year at, and this is the time. And there's a couple of things that maybe we can look at when we're connecting over the next little bit. So one thing that I really loved that that was shared from Kyle and the Crash actually was a question. And it seems very natural to ask this question, and I really encourage everybody to use this over the holidays, is when you're talking to people, whether it be your mom, your sister, your cousin, somebody down the street at a holiday party, somebody at work, you can ask them, you know, hey, you know, what are your goals? What are your health goals for 2017? Have you thought about that yet? And it doesn't sound weird to ask that question. You know, sometimes we've kind of set ourselves up with these weird questions or whatever to, you know, kind of set ourselves up for things, but it's really genuinely asking them, you know, what is your health goal for 2017? Or, you know, what would you like to change about your health in 2017? And you just listen to them. And then you can always share yours. You could say, yeah, you know what? I'm also looking to do that. Or, yeah, I get that. I hear lots of that. And that's the end of the conversation about Isagenix. It's a question right now. We're connecting with people right now. We're adding people to our list right now. Yes, we're trying to enroll. Yes, we're trying to do all of those things. But the number one thing we always want to be doing is adding to our list. One thing I took away from the weekend is setting my goals to do that. Is to say to myself, I'm going to add 3 new people every day to my list. So that's above and beyond connecting with people, adding people to that list. So if I'm sitting at home, and I loved somebody at the event said that sometimes in Isagenix they feel homebound versus and home-based business, because we can get stuck at home. We can be on our computer. We can be doing things, and we're not out and about, just like when we had our jobs or something if we retired from them. And so I really encourage you to look at when you're going to go shopping right now. We're at lots of stores. We're grocery shopping. We're at the LCBO. We're, doing all of these things. These are all times we could be connecting with people and adding people to our list. Buying an extra coffee because we're shopping. We're at Starbucks. We're doing all of these things. And it's simply just saying, hey, awesome. You know what? Thanks so much for this great service. I love your service. And it's connecting with people. So one thing I ask you to do is to maybe think about that question. How can you bring that up in conversation and just say, hey, what are your health goals? And then you come home and you write it in your book of prospects. Talk to Aunt Carol, and her health goal is this, right? It's setting the sales, right? You have to set the sale to get the sale. And that's what we're doing right now is we're connecting. We're setting up the sale for later. And that's by connecting, building a relationship. It's not overnight. It's not, hey, I'm at the Christmas party and I'm talking to Aunt Carol and I tell her, you have to sign up for Isagenix right now. No, it's disconnecting. So asking that question, I think, is really pivotal. If you are somebody that has already got a team, has had enrolled even one person in your organization, this is a fantastic time to reach out and connect with those people as well. And simple things that you can do right now is just to even ask the question, hey, can you help me out with a survey I'm conducting about my business? And then they're going to say yes, because people, especially Canadians, we want to help people. That's what's in us, So you ask that, they're going to want to get on the phone with you. And then you just ask 3 simple questions. What has been your experience with Isagenix so far? You can ask that from somebody that's got 2 days in, a year in, 5 years in, right? What's your experience with Isagenix so far? And then the second question we're going to ask is what excited you to start with Isagenix? What brought you to Isagenix and you? And then the next question we can ask is, if they're still using Isagenix, what excites you now? Right? This is going to give us so much information that we can help to build on that, right? We can use it to foster maybe objections, right? And then we can also ask them, if they're not using it now, what do you think was missing from your Isagenix experience? And this is a great way to connect with people, because maybe it was money, maybe it was time, maybe it was coaching, maybe it was the results. And when we get that answer, we can course correct with them. We can say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I called you because, say they can't use dairy anymore, right? And you enrolled them 5 years ago. It's like, oh my gosh, Kim, I'm so glad we connected today because I forgot to tell you. I forgot to call you and tell you that we have a vegan shake now. I'm so excited because this is going to change your life. It's a vegan shake. You can totally do this. And you get excited and you share. I have a solution for you now, right? Maybe it's money. This is a great opportunity to say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we connected today because I can share with you how to make some extra money, how to get some rebates. And we can show them the money. And if it's maybe a coaching thing, we can say, I appreciate you telling me this because I was new to Isagenix too. And maybe I didn't connect you to the right group. Maybe I didn't set up your system properly. But let me, share with you now how to do it. And you can walk back through with that person. So it's a great opportunity to connect with people in your organization right now. Talk to them about what's going on. And it's a great opportunity to talk to new people by just asking them what their health goals are. And it's a great opportunity to actually reach out to people that you've prospected in the past, because it's the same thing. You can ask those questions. Obviously, if you talk to somebody about Isagenix in the past, there is something there that has attracted them to the conversation in the first place. And this is where you can say, hey, you know what? We talked about Isagenix 3 years ago. You never got started. Why is that? I'm just conducting some research. And you listen, and this is where you can field objections and you can reopen the conversation with people. So take a look at the list you have of people already in your organization, the people you've prospected in the past. right? And then new people you're going to see right now over the holidays, and really look at that. And then the fourth part is adding people to your list, as I said, and it can be very simple. On Facebook now, you can add people instantaneously by just connecting your phones together. And simply by saying, hey, you know what? I love your service here. Thank you for being such a great bartender, or thank you for serving me, or thank you for checking me out so quickly on the holiday season. It can be whatever it is, but it can be, you know what? I'd love to connect with you. I like people like this, right? I like people who are efficient. I like people who are friendly. I like people who are whatever. And it's adding people to your list. So I just ask you, there's a chat button here. We can all be chatting together. How many people are you committed to connecting with over the holiday season? Is it one person a day, two people a day? And I mean new people adding to your list, because that's really the number one income producing activity. If we don't have a list, we don't have people to call, we don't have people to make an appointment with, we don't have people to talk to, and then we don't have people to enroll with. That's the system. That's the gradient of enrolling somebody. So it starts with adding people to your list. That is the most important thing we can be doing. And over the holiday season, I can't think of a better time to be adding people to your list. It really is so critical. So, I love it. Thank you, Tina. You've added somebody to, you're committed to one new person added to your list every day. How many people? There's 16 people participating in this call. So how many people are you committed to? Keith, Jodi, let's just chime in. Renata, Donna, Sabrina, Val, Kellyanne, Jeffrey, Altaf, I see you there. Awesome. Thank you for committing to post something here. It's hard to say this because it's really sometimes stepping outside of our comfort zone, but this is our business. Our business is connecting with new people every day and adding people to our list. If we do not have a list, our business is over. And sometimes we focus on the skills, we focus on other things, and they're all important. Don't get me wrong. But the most important thing is building our list and adding new people. And over the holidays, this is the time. If you're sending Christmas cards out, let people know what you're doing. Ask for referrals. Hey, I'm so excited. 2016, I embarked on this new concept that's going to change my life. And I'm looking for, it doesn't have to be weird. It can be exciting. It can be passionate. It can really be revolutionary and change people's lives. So, use that when you're at your meetings. So thank you for all the people that have committed to who they're going to connect with and add to their list every day. And, we've got Facebook, we've got social media, we've got all the things we're doing. Let's really be committed to adding people to our list. So certainly if you've got a great idea, add it to Freedom Tribe Builders. I want to hear it. I want to learn from you guys. I want to hear, what are you doing to add people to your list? Let's all come together and say, hey, you know what? I used this. It worked. It was amazing. Let's share. Let's really come together on this because this is the time to do it. So with that, if Renata, Tina, anybody else on the call has anything to add, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Awesome. How many of you got some good nuggets there from what Michelle was sharing? Incredible, right? Renata, can you speak? Can we hear you on that computer now?
Can you hear me on my phone?
Yeah, you're on your phone. Yeah, Michelle, thank you so much, you guys, and thank you guys for being accountable in the group there. We're going to follow up on that. Renata, did you get the message I sent you there?
I didn't see it. I saw something pop up.
I was going to say, do you want to share just the power of 5 minutes here before we sign off?
The power of 5 minutes. Whoever was there on Friday, it's really creating an intention. So we can all build this business in the 5-minute pockets of our day. And time is probably the biggest excuse all of us have and everyone will have because we don't need to add an extra project to our plates. But just being intentional with what you can achieve in the 5 minutes. And I challenge everybody to do this, and I'm going to log myself as well. But when you have those 5 minutes to you're waiting till your child's done school or done piano, ballet, soccer, gymnastics. Like, what are you intentionally doing in those 5 minutes? So most of us, grab our cell phones and we're scrolling through Facebook or we're scrolling to Instagram. But that's when the awareness comes, and think about it. Like, if your intention is to build a successful Isagenix business and you're looking for these pockets of time, be intentional with that 5 minutes, because you scrolling on Facebook, liking other people's puppy dogs and kittens and kids, is that going to grow your business? Like, you have to be intentional with your social media. And I think Facebook, as much as it's fantastic for lead generation, I think it'd be a massive distraction as well to you growing a business. So if each of us could log maybe one day, how often are we flipping through that Facebook or social media? And it'll be interesting to see if it's like, are we wasting half an hour or wasting 2 hours a day doing nothing when we're saying we're growing the business and we're not? So in those 5 minutes, if you are intentional, that's the time to like text someone on your team. Hey, how's it going? Did your product come in? To reach out to other people. Talk to the other people around you that you're waiting for. Knock on a window in a car of someone beside you. Say, hey, is your son in that class too? Yeah, cool. And start chatting. It's all about communicating and networking. So if you can just really, that's something that I'm going to get better at with as well. Anyone who's a multitasker, we're already pretty good with our time. But if you take it further to that 5 minutes and not be so hard on yourself, you might not have 2 hours every day, but you have 5-minute segments all the time where you can really take advantage of what your intention is. And my intention, like Michelle said, what I got from this whole weekend as well is the basic is constantly be adding people to our list, our connecting list. That's 90% of the game, guys. And the rest, skills and everything, connection will come, we'll learn, but it's having that contact list, because if you have no one you're prepared to connect with, you're never going to build a business. It's simple like that. It's a numbers game. So if we all intentionally, like, imagine all of us for the year 2017, just 5 days a week, not even 7, but 5 days a week, intentionally reach out to 2 or 3 people a day, intentionally, and followed up with these people. That would be over almost 1,000 people we'd actually connect to and share an Isagenix tool or a movie with, etc. And out of those 1,000, we probably have 100, 200 joining your own personal team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a numbers game, everybody. Everyone has to know this is a numbers game. And the quicker you get through those numbers in a short amount of time, the quicker your business is going to flourish and explode. So I really got that from this weekend. It was a great reminder. So I recommitted myself. And as you guys all did, which was amazing to see, have started to think in that direction as well. But I'll stop speaking because I can go forever. I want to respect everyone.
So powerful, though. Thank you, Renata. So powerful, right? Did you guys get something from that? We all have 5 minutes. We all have 5 minutes, right? So it's in the pockets. And we'll wrap it up on this note. So again, thank you to each and every one of you guys for making an effort to be on this call. We really are grateful. The business, we can only grow our businesses and our lives to the extent that we grow ourselves. And things like this are valuable for us to learn some different things to grow personally, as well as to support our people to do the same and to grow our businesses. None of you are here because someone didn't care about you. You're all here because someone cared about you and they had the guts to open their mouths and share something with you that they were passionate about, that had changed their lives. So it's up to us now to pay that forward and truly care on and love on, people, especially as we move into the holidays. So growing our list, connecting, like Michelle said, asking questions, get to know people, be interested, not interesting. Like Renata says, use those pockets, use those 5 minutes. So I'm just going to finish on a quote by Maya Angelou. She's one of my favorites. So people may forget what you say, people may forget what you did, but there is not one person that will ever forget how you made them feel. So as we go out there, leave everyone you meet better than you found them. And on that note, we will see you guys in Freedom Tribe Builders. Reach out anytime. We love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the contributions, you guys. Ciao.